Let me ask you something. How many deals have you blown? How many relationships have you strained? How many great opportunities have you missed just because you let your emotions drive the wheel? Seriously, be honest. Not facts, not logic, not strategy, your emotions. You lost a client because you got reactive. You ghosted that prospect because you were insecure. You sabotaged your day because somebody else's energy just hijacked yours. It's not leadership. That's not personal mastery. That's emotional immaturity hiding behind hustle. And it's costing you everything. So let's make something pretty clear. Emotions are not the problem. You're a human being. You're not a robot. You have emotions. The problem is when you don't own your emotions, then your emotions own you. You see, emotional mastery, it doesn't mean that you don't feel. It means that you do feel everything. But you choose what gets your response. That means when chaos breaks out, you stay calm. When fear shows up, you're still laser focused. When rejection hits, and it often does in real estate, you just keep going. That's power. That's poise. And that's what separates the professionals from the amateurs. Most people, they live in reaction. They live at the mercy of how they feel in the moment. You hear things like, I'm tired. I'm just not motivated. I'm not feeling it today. Really? So they pull back and they scroll. And they just disappear and they delay. And then they wonder why their life looks exactly the same year after year after year. So let me say this clearly. The gap between where you are and where you want to be, that's your ability to lead yourself through the emotional resistance. You want emotional mastery, then you better get intimate with things like discomfort. The version of you want, to become lives on the other side of that discomfort. So you need to stop avoiding it. Discipline. Discipline's a big one. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your standards and your rituals. Detachment. You need to master your reactions and hold your standards, but never let outcomes define your worth. Listen, the world just doesn't need more emotionally fragile leaders. It needs grounded and solid, stable warriors who can take a hit, and still move forward with love and precision. If you're in this, this webinar here, this presentation, whatever you want to call it, and you're chasing something big, whether it's a legacy, wealth, making an impact, personal freedom, understand this. You're going to be tested. You're going to be tested by doubt. You're going to be tested by betrayal. You'll be tested by fear and fatigue. And in those moments, your mindset won't save you. Your strategy won't save you. It's your emotional regulation. That's what's going to save you. You got to lead yourself through the fire, not once, not twice, but every single day. Because emotional mastery, it's not a switch. Click, can't turn it on, turn it off. It's a skill. It's sharpened in silence. It's refined in resistance, and and then it's revealed in pressure. So I'll leave you with this morning. You don't need more hacks. You don't need more books. You don't need any more of that motivational fluff. Woohoo, yeah. You know, what you need is you need the courage to face your own patterns, to feel the hard stuff without fleeing, and to respond with intention, not with reaction. Because until you master your emotions, you're going to keep repeating the same cycle. You know, no matter how talented, smart, or skilled you are. But when you finally own those emotional, your emotional state, you become unshakable. You become elite. You become dangerous in the best way possible. So that's the real flex. That's emotional mastery. And that's how icons are shaped and legacies are built. Peace.